Today we're going to speak about very interesting and scary topic, plastic in our lives, which includes our health and a little bit about environment. My name is Roman Salani and I speak on my social media about health, wellness, longevity. And last week on Friday, I attended a very interesting presentation, which actually made me think twice about plastic in my life and life of my family. And all of this is thank you to a volunteer organization called Allatra, A-L-L-A-T-R-A. If you are interested in what I'm going to discuss briefly today, and I'm not expert on a topic by no means, I'm just going to share with you some things that I remember from that presentation last week that struck me. And because I'm the person who is not just finding the problems, I'm trying to find solutions. I'm going to offer you some solutions to the problem that you may see fit for you. And if not, good, you may actually disconnect right now. But if you are looking for health, wellness, longevity, and you also want to leave this planet a little bit better when you leave than you found it, then maybe you need to hear this information and decide for yourself how you're going to take this information in, how you're going to process it, and what you're going to do about it. Again, if you don't want to do anything about it, that's fine. That's your choice. But last week I learned that a lot of things around us are made of plastic, which is not news. Everybody knows this. But we do not know that the plastic that is dangerous is not the one that we actually see and can touch. The plastic that's dangerous is that small particles that we don't see, which called, or we can barely see, it's called microplastic. But the most dangerous is one that you cannot see because it's at a smaller scale, and it's called nanoplastic. And what I learned and what surprised me, I never thought about it, that small particles of nanoplastic are actually in the air. You not only drink it or you eat it, you actually breathe it in. And the scariest part, when you breathe it in it escapes all the digestive tract and all the blood that goes straight to your brain. So one fact that we were tested on this presentation, these guys are really good. They're not just giving you information, they're making sure you remember this information. So one of the parts that we learned, that average person has in their brain approximately 7 grams of plastic. If you think about it, it's the size of a plastic spoon. So if you're walking, talking, and you're thinking why your brain doesn't work as well as it used to work, because you're getting that plastic in your brain and it stacks and it doesn't allow your brain to function properly. So think again about everything that's going on around us and listen further, because there's even more disturbing things about plastic in our life. So in addition to getting into our body from all avenues, breathe, water, food, clothing, look at the labels of the clothing, how much of your clothing is actually cotton and natural things, and how much are plastic or any kind of things that made out of plastic. So we get it in all directions. Now it comes in, what does it do? It accumulates in our body. This is understood because our body 200 years ago, 300 years ago, even 100 years ago, did not know what plastic is and how to deal with it. So guess what? It doesn't have mechanism to eliminate it from our system. Now, what does it do for us? Thing number one, it creates oxidative stress. Not only we are getting more acidic from the food that we eat, from the drinks that we drink, from the sugar that we have in our diet, on top of that, the little plastic things get into our body and make that impact even worse. And what does it do? It damages our body, it causes premature aging, and I will speak about some other things that plastic does to our body. So just pay attention. We'll get to the things that we can do about this. Oxidative stress. Now, the second thing that's related to this is damage to our mitochondria. If you heard this term, great. If you didn't hear it before, this is little electrostations in our body that produce electricity or energy. And our life is all energy. If we have energy, we're fun, we're entertaining, we are productive. If we don't have energy, at best we're just living or surviving, existing. But worse, we're dying. So mitochondria, if it's damaged, it produces less energy for our body, for our daily activities. hence we are getting sicker, aging, dying, and at least we are not the happy people that we used to be before, and people around us do not want to be with us any longer. Bad idea, especially now when lots of people are isolated, even though with all the technology we should be all interconnected. Unfortunately, it's not what's happening. The next thing, and this is the big one because a lot of people suffer from cardiovascular disease, and this is one of the causes of death, leading causes of death. So guess what? When microplastic gets into your body, it accumulates in certain pieces, including your arteries and all the you see, that's the plastic in my brain. No, just kidding. In all of the in all the blood vessels. Here you go. That's what I was looking for. The blood vessels. When it does so, it stucks there and starts to accumulate stuff around it, and that clogs your blood flow. When the blood flow stops or slows down, what body has to do, what heart has to do, has to pump stronger to push the blood and oxygen to your brain, to other parts of your body. Guess what's going to happen? If your arteries, if your blood vessels are not flexible enough, if they lack in collagen, they break or they get clogged, and you get one of those non-pleasant cardiovascular disease or catastrophes. So next thing, remember, it affects your cardiovascular system. It also contributes to cancer development. Same thing. These little things attract to yourself negative particles that actually causing the body to faster develop the cancer cells. And cancer cells, faster cancer development, and all of those beautiful things are not beautiful. And unfortunately, my family, we know a lot of instances of cancer, including the fatal ones. So it's not a pretty thing, and we don't want this to happen to anybody. So pay attention to what gets into your system, and we'll speak later how to get rid of that. Next one, nervous system. We hear today over and over again, the people get dumb, the kids are cannot study, they cannot process information, they cannot sit still, they are hyperactive, or they are not studying well, and they cannot process information. One of the presenters at the presentation last week was a martial arts coach who said in the last 20 years he's seen tremendous difference in the kids that were coming in 20 years ago and today, not only because of their brain function, which is way different and went slower, but also their physical performance. They're not performing today as well as their peers did 20 years ago. Why is that? Same thing. The micro and nanoplastic, when it gets into your nervous system, it damages the neurotransitions between the different parts of the body. Again, I'm not a scientist. If you want to know more about it, find ALLATRA and their presentations. They're on social media. They are in YouTube, and they have a lot of interesting information that you may use for yourself. You may use to educate yourself, or find one of their events and join them. They are fun people. They're very knowledgeable, and they're very passionate about what they do, because they see that they're doing a great job in educating people and helping them to open their eyes and to become part of this movement to save the planet, save our future generations. So let's move on. And this is the last one I'm going to speak today, because I don't want to go and do the whole presentation. It took us about an hour and a half, so it was very informative. But the last thing, and this is probably the one that most people concerned today, especially when the winter is coming, it's viruses and bacterial infections. And micro and nanoplastic, when it gets into your system, they create conditions that are beneficial or likable by those things, viruses and bacteria and microbes. So they attract them. And when they attract them, guess what's going to happen? Your immune system is not capable of fighting them quick enough to protect you. And when it's not able to protect you, you becoming sick. And that's why so many people right now getting sick. They sneezing, they coughing, they miss their job, they miss the school. Everybody's upset about it. They cannot travel, and we can continue on and on and on. But bottom line is this, guys and ladies and gentlemen, we have to do something about it. So at the presentation, we did ask question. So what can we do about it? And here's the problem. The science don't know. The science don't know what we can do about it. We all understand that we can try to eliminate the use of the plastic in our life. How? Simple thing. Number one, don't use the plastic bottles. Get the glass bottle and carry it with you. Yes, it still has the plastic cap, but this is one that stays with me for at least 4, 5, 6 months and doesn't go into landfill or anywhere else. And the plastic bottles that you buy every day in the supermarket, they go in garbage. And the best thing, they really go in the right direction and recycled. But in the worst case, they go on the street and create more of microplastic in the world. So make sure, number one, you start with your own home and with your own body. Start with water bottle. There are also now lots of commercials about metal bottles. It's up to you if you want to use those. My opinion is this. Your water has to have some electrolytes. Electrolytes and metal together don't go together. So it has to be either very high quality plastic, but we're trying to get rid of it. So the other alternative is glass. Second thing, if you're going to do shopping, very simple. Instead of taking the plastic bags, get reusable bags. Same thing. They also can be made of plastic, but they're reusable. So you're not going to dispose of them the next day or the same day. Now, the most interesting part, the part that I'm very proud of my company, because when we were sitting with Katrina at that presentation and I was listening and I hear, okay, oxidative stress, and alarm goes in my brain. Oh, but our antioxidants help us to deal with oxidative stress. Our alkaline water helps us to deal with oxidative stress. So we actually have a product, a tool, to at least minimize, if not completely eliminate, the effects of micro and nanoplastic in my body. So I can protect my body and my family and all those who are willing to listen to me with the products of Coral Club. Now we talked about the effects of these things on our brain and our nervous system. And again, we have products for our brain and nervous system that help to improve the functioning of the brain and nervous system. And those two things will help, if not, again, combat, at least minimize the effects of nano and microplastic in our brain. Now, I spoke about cardiovascular system and the blood vessels that get clogged with the things like micro and nanoplastic. And again, what we can do, one, we can take care of our blood vessels flexibility. They have to be flexible, they have to be stretchable, they need collagen. And if you're not taking collagen from food, which is again very hard for many people to do, then you have to take it from supplements. And if you don't take it from anywhere, then guess what? Get ready for the cardiovascular catastrophes in your body. And same thing to your family and friends. If they don't do it, sooner or later, you're going to face it. Number two, you have to make sure your blood is liquefied, meaning it's running smoothly. And again, our water and some other products will help you to do that instead of taking medications that cause harm to your other parts of your body and actually can have side effects. Versus here, we're not having any side effects because this is natural things that come from the planet Earth, from Mother Nature. And the final thing, our viruses, bacteria, and fungi, and all of those little things that live inside of our body, we can rely on our immune system and wait for it to function, hopefully properly, or we can actually help to straighten our immune system, give it the support it needs, give it extra nutrients that our body needs on a regular basis. And those things, I'll mention just few: selenium, zinc, vitamin D, vitamin C, fatty acids, amino acids, all those things that our body needs on a regular basis to become stronger and to be able to deal with those little creatures. Also, something that everybody can do, even if you're not using supplements, watch your diet, because your diet feeds not only you, but also feeds those little creatures inside of you, and they love sugar, flour, all kind of carbs, especially the fast carbs. And if you give it to your children, guess what you're doing? You're feeding the little creatures inside of their body, and then don't question why my child cannot learn, why my child is hyperactive, why my child is too excited or anxious or depressed. because you feed him the wrong thing. So let's sum it up. Again, we live not in perfect world, even though this is the best we have, and we probably will not have better. It's at best we'll just maintain the status quo because of all the stuff that's going on in the world. But if we at least start to take care of our own home, we eliminate unnecessary plastic use, we eliminate unnecessary stuff that we drop on the street, and make sure that if you have any plastic garbage, it goes to the recycle bin, and it goes, and hopefully these services recycle it correctly and properly. We try to watch what we put inside of our body to make sure that we have minimized the effects of micro and nanoplastic on our internal system. Antioxidants, a lot of water. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention, and this is what Katrina found out recently before she knew we're going to attend this presentation, which is very interesting how things happens. But she learned one more thing. The diet that is rich with fiber can help the body to eliminate microplastic. We don't know about nanoplastic. There's this little, very small particles, but fiber can help you to actually cleanse your body from inside and push those things out. So here it is. We have proper products for hydration. Replace your bottles with the glass bottles, which you can get from us or can get it from somebody else. Make sure it's high quality. Get antioxidants. Get things for your cardiovascular system, your blood vessels, and support your immune system. Everything of this stuff we already have in Coral Club. If you want to go and search somewhere else, feel free. It's your choice. It's your call. I stay with Coral Club because it's simple. It's all in one place. It's all well researched. It's high quality. It's a premium brand. And it's like iPhone in the world of cell phones, or Mercedes or BMW in the world of cars. So higher quality, better use, last longer, and the most important thing, it's very accessible to everybody. If you're interested about effects of micro and nanoplastic on the environment or your body, find out where you can speak with people from ALLATRA. And if you want to know more about how you can protect your body from the effects of this with your own knowledge and simple tools available right now, right here online, reach out to me and I will be happy to share with you how you can get your free membership with Coral Club and how you can get your products at your doorstep in a matter of days. Thank you for listening. Be healthy, be happy. Goodbye.